on Tableau. So fewer tips, fewer concepts. I don't know. So what makes the AI. So I'll just go over them. All right. So I'll start with the small machine. So here we have customers by city, sales, right? Specifically in New York City. If you need to get the top 10 customers, what do I do? Anyone?
We basically have a filter on CD, right? So we'll just right click on that. And then the filter pane, yep. Just click on edit filter and take the top 10.
And that will give me the top 10 cities, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I need the top 10 customers inside New York City.
Okay, then you just bring the customers into the filter pane.
Okay.
Yeah, take the top 10.
Okay.
Yep. Click OK. Now make the city into context.
Got it. So that was the part I wanted to tell. So we only get 4 moment you add it to context. So top 10 gets evaluated after the context filter is done. Alright, so that was the first one. Alright, so the second one is this. So I have two columns. One is a basic average that I got from the sales column. The other one is the LOD calculations. Basically, that is done at a customer level. Alright, we'll just open that. So you have this, fixed customer name, average sales. Right. So this is the other calculation. Ideally, they are supposed to give me the same result. Right. So this is also average at a customer level, and this is also average at a customer level, but they're different. Can you guess why?
Is it because of the filter that we have filter for region West?
Yep.
But I think when we give a fixed, it won't consider the filter, right?
Correct.
Order of operations.
Yeah. So at the context that becomes same. So LOD gets evaluated before the context filters. Alright. So any idea how this gets changed? Or how we can do this? I click on a value and it gets updated there. Right? I click on sums, it gets updated.
Parameter action kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So what you do is you select the parameter, and the dashboard actions. I think you can give that parameter the value. So I think if you go to dashboard actions once or worksheet action, whatever it is, actions. Yeah. If you edit that, select keep current value, and here you have to put sum instead of like the source field, aggregation you have to put sum. So if you put, I think max, it will give the max of all the multiple selects. If you you can choose max, min, sum, average, all that stuff there. Okay,
I need to update my stuff that I'm going to show for the next week. So everything is getting answered. Okay, I'll move on to the next one. So there's a question on highlighting on this text table. So I have a text table here, right? So then I put on the count of orders of the color, right? And then I get this. I need a highlight table, all right? So I need the colors shown on the cells. So what do I do now?
Change the automatic to squares.
Squares, all right? Okay. So if you see here, it kind of highlights it for whole thing, right? You see what's happening?
What are we trying to achieve here? I don't think I.
You need different legends for each of the measure.
Kind of. That is also one way to do it. So basically, I'm trying to highlight the different cells here, right?
So each cell should be a different color. Is that what we're trying to do, or what are we trying to do?
Yeah. So basically, I'm trying to show the value on that cell, through a color.
Okay.
Things like this. Leave that. Sorry, I misread the question. All right, so I'll go with this here. So let me change this to square, okay, and let me give the color of whatever it is. So the profit on color, all right. I get this, right? If I, okay. If I'm going to add, so let's say I've given a segmentation. Yeah, profit segmentation. Right. I'm going to use this to color the highlight table. All right. So yeah, if sum of profit is greater than 10,000, then it's goal met. If it is less than 0, then it's negative profitability. Else it is other. So basically 3 categories: more profitable, loss, and the in between ones. Right. I'm going to use this for the color. All right. So you see what's happening here. So if I'm going to increase the size, I get this. It's not right. Right. I need this table highlighted by that measure. If it is the profit, it's working well, right? It's working as expected. But the moment I drag in this, I get this stuff. I can have the square reduced. It's correct. It's showing the right colors individually. But the moment I increase the size, you see what happened? The square is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And hence, so this one square is getting so big that it is intruding into the nearby cells.
Maybe you can change the calculated field. Instead of taking text, we'll take the numbers. So let's take goal meet as 1, negative as -1, and others as 0. Then we'll try to bring it in. That would resolve it.
And this one was -1, is it?
-1.
So there's one way to do this. So there's also another hack that we can do. So basically, if we do that, if you do this, then you get this on the legend, right? If you're going to show more categories, you might want to show the legend. Here it's clear because it's negative is red, positive is I can make it green, and the middle ones are gray. The problem here is if we have more categories, let's say 5 categories, I need to show the legend in one way or the other, right? Then it becomes even more roundabout. I have to create another sheet, put something there, and then pick the legend, cut from that and show it to the dashboard, right? But an easier way to do that is, let me put this back into profit segmentation. Now, just add. So what's happening is that square is getting intruded. You need to restrict that square, right? Add another axis. So you put an empty axis there, an empty axis here, right? And then hide that axis. That's it, right? So that's the hack to fix the squares that's running in your business. Okay. Now moving on to this one. So earlier there used to be restrictions on how much column you can add on a text table, completely text table in Tableau. All right, and slowly they have increased the limit. Now it is, I think it's close to 50 columns. All right, but whenever you make these measure names and measure value oriented tables, text tables, they're not so flexible. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah. So there is one alternate and interesting way to do these tables. Can anyone guess? So basically, you can create something called a placeholder. It's just going to be 0. It's just going to hold the value 0. Right. So it's this min 0. I'll just put that. I'm going to drag this onto the column shelf. I think it's something that Jairaj said. You need to have different marks paint for each of the axes that you add. It's similar to that. Yeah. So you just put the placeholder again and again and again into how much columns you want to add, right? And then let's say I'm going to put a category and subcategory here, Right now, I get each and every axis on the column gets a card, and I can place the text there. Right. So I'll tell you what's interesting here. What can be used? Right? Let's put profit. Let's put sales, and let's put quantity. All right. Now there are a few things we need to fix though. The first thing is I need to get rid of these 0 columns, right? So the 0 guidelines. First, I'll hide them in the first place. -5 0. Alright, so the next one is I'm just going to get rid of these guidelines, etc. over. The same for this as well. -5 0. Right, this is one way. So what's interesting here is you can change this to any way you want. Let's say you don't need to show a text column, you need to show some sort of a bar, to represent this. You can still do that, right? So you can put in quantity into size and make it bar. Oh, sorry, my bad. So quantity has to be put here in that case if you're going to show it as a bar. Right, let's show the profit segmentation. Right, so you can have different stacks for the same thing, and keep on showing text in between also. In the measure ones, you either show everything as bars or you either show everything as text, and it gets so the table gets colored differently. You can get rid of those flexibilities. Sorry. Get more flexibilities on that. And to hide this placeholder out, you can actually use some sort of a sheet on the dashboard, but you still need this axis. But place a white sheet above this place exactly, and then align it so that this axis gets hidden, because if you hide this, the whole thing will go. Right? So there's also one more gap here on this version. You won't get the column names, right? So probably you might want to hide this labels, and you might want to create and duplicate this sheet and don't have anything on this. Basically duplicate this, then clear all this out. Clear this, and then you might want to add, just get that on the text. So just get the access names on the text. So if you're gonna go for this one, make it text. Now if you just type here, say category, right, you get this category here. Right now you go ahead and hide this, show header. This way you can put in the column name whatsoever on each of these columns, and then pull the sheet into the dashboard for the header. So that's one gap on this, but for the flexibility it offers you to create this chart, I think that is okay. So I've not used it much on the client dashboards, but wherever they really need some specific type of charts and I can't use measure values and names, then I typically use this one. Okay, so this is something that can be done with the step of charts. So I put together the column names and the values here, just so you know. So yeah, I'm just going to text table. Right. Yep, that's pretty much what I had. So I'll update the what I show for the next time, so that it's in line with